To introduce myself once again to the people who have missed yesterday's class, my name is Rajshekhar and you can call me Raj. And I'm having totally 25 plus years of teaching experience and 16 plus years of real-time experience. And the course what we are going to discuss over here is full stack Java with AI, artificial intelligence. Let us initially understand what is this full stack. What is this full stack development? So for that, I have shown one example diagram. Like if you consider like Gmail, when we type gmail.com on our browser, it is going to ask you to enter our username and password. So the content, whatever we see onto the browser, that we call it as the front end. And we develop this front end using web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, like that. And the people who take care of this front end part, we call them as front end developers or UI developers, user interface developers. And once we enter your details like username and password, how to know that this user is authenticated? Wherever user details will be present in the database. And how this database is managed? By using the database servers like MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, like that. The people who take care of database, we call them as database developers or DBA, that is database administrators. From our front end, connecting to database directly, it is not possible. That's the place where we go for server-side technologies like Java, .NET, PHP, Python. And the people who take care of server-side related to the technology, we can call them as Java developers, .NET developers, Python developers, PHP developers, or even simple backend developers. And the people who take care of front-end developers, backend developers, database developers. And the people who take care of the complete role means front-end, backend, and database, we call them as full stack developers. So the codes what we are going to learn here is full stack development using Java technology, and we are going to make use of AI for learning much more faster and how to make use of AI tools for our development. And these codes are divided into 8 modules. They are core Java, AI tools, artificial intelligence, web technologies, database concepts using MySQL, advanced Java, frameworks, and 7th module real-time tools and DevOps tools. And finally, we go with full stack Java project. Module 1, I've elaborated what contents we are going to discuss. And module 2, AI tools. Here we'll understand about what is this AI and what is the meaning of large language models and what is this generative AI. And very important, prompt engineering. If you are good with prompt, how to communicate with the AI, then majority part of AI is done for us. Then we are going to learn some of the important AI tools like ChatGPT, Cloud AI, Gemini, Notebook LM, Perplexity, and how to use this AI for coding and debugging. Then module 3, we go with web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, TypeScript, XML, JSON, Angular, and React. And we go with the database concepts using MySQL, where we'll be learning what is this database and SQL, and how to download and install MySQL Server on our operating system. And we'll be learning the commands like DDL, DML, DQL, TCL commands. And we'll understand about constants like primary key, unique, not null, check constant, foreign key constant. And we'll understand about SQL joins. Module 5, we go with advanced Java. Java EE stands for Enterprise Edition. It's mainly used to develop web applications. And the topics what we discuss under advanced Java is JDBC, that is Java Database Connectivity, Servlets, and JSP. And the next module 6, very, very important one, frameworks. Module 6 is very important, frameworks, where we are going to discuss the frameworks like Hibernate framework, Spring and Spring Boot. Under Spring Boot, we initially discuss about what is this dependency injection and inversion of control. and we go with the Spring Core module, and we start with Spring Boot introduction. We'll understand about Spring Boot starters, how to develop a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer, and we make use of an IDE called as Spring Toolsuite, STS. We go with Spring JDBC module, then Spring Data JPA module, Spring Web MVC module, mainly used to develop web applications. Spring REST module, used to develop REST APIs for distributed applications. Distributed means application to application interaction. One application can communicate to another application running in different servers. And one more very important module, Spring Security module. And the next very important, Spring AI module. And we'll see how to make use of this generative AI using Spring AI. Even we discuss microservices using Spring Boot, and we go with module 7, real-time and DevOps tools like Maven, Lombok, Postman, GitHub, JNet, Log4j, and Docker. And module 8, complete full stack Java project. We develop this project using Spring Boot and microservices as backend and Angular as frontend. And the complete duration of this course goes for 3 months. And the classes will be Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour maximum. And the class will start sharp at 8 AM IST. And the people who are in US or Canada, remember the classes will be Sunday to Thursday evening time. Class notes, source code, so recordings will be shared with you, and it is lifetime access. That means whatever the notes, source codes, recordings I'm sending, you can download onto your local machine. So once you download on local machine, that means it is lifetime access to you. And whatever the meeting link we are using, go to meeting link, that is permanent. Means till end of the course, we can use same link to join. And in order to get the notes, recordings to your email ID, please send a test email to rajonlinejava@gmail.com. And the people who have already sent, you need not send it once again. It's only one-time process, just to make a note of your email ID. So the people who did not send up to now, please send the test mail. I'm sending to everyone once again in chat message of GoToMeeting. So you can copy my email ID from there. What is my email ID? rajonlinejava@gmail.com. Right? Clear up to here? Anyone having any questions? So let us start off with module 1. Let us start off with module 1. This is core Java, or even we say Java SC. Java SC stands for Java Standard Edition. And the main use of going with Java SC is core Java is used to develop standalone or desktop applications. So what are the examples of desktop applications? Like calculator, paint, notepad, and this one like Word, Excel, all these are desktop applications. Once we download and install on our local system, we need not connect to other system to run that application. That's the reason the name has come standalone. And in this, we are going to start with the first one, programming concepts. This core Java module is very, very important, and this module only takes more time for us, because once you are good with core part, understanding remaining topics of Java will be very easy for us. We should have a good base on core part. Today session, we are going to discuss about programming concepts. Whenever we want to learn any programming language, like C or C++ or Java or .NET or Python, we should have a basic idea on programming concepts terminologies. Then learning of any programming language will be easy. So today the objective is we'll understand about programming concepts. Next class we can enter into Java. So before we start these programming concepts, first of all, what we are going to do? We are going to write the programs. So we should know what is a program is. How to define a program? A program is a set of instructions given to a computer to perform a task. In order to perform a task, we have to give some instructions to the computer. That set of instructions only we call it as a program. Then, what is the meaning of task? Task is like example like finding total marks and average marks of a student, calculating net salary of an employee, finding area of a circle, adding a book into the library, booking a movie ticket, booking a flight ticket, transferring funds from one account to other account. So these are called as tasks. To do that, we have to give some instructions to the computer. That only we call program. When you are writing the program, we need to know some of the important terminologies. And the first one is comments. When you are writing a program, we need to document our program. The meaning of document is like, we should elaborate what is the purpose of your program, on which date you are writing, who is writing, more about your program in your own words. That is the meaning of comments. So you can say comments are used to document a program and ignored by the programming language. The programming language will not see what you are writing in the comments. It's mainly for documentation purpose. And we are having two types of comments. They are single line comments, which is // multi-line comments, which is /* and end with again //. Like example, // to find total marks of a student. This is single line comment. To go with multi-line, /* to find, or you can say to transfer the funds from one account to another account. So this is multi-line comment. For multi-line comment, we use /* and end with again //. So whatever you are writing in these comments, it is ignored by your language. Language will not see what you are writing inside this. The next important terminology is keyword. The important terminology is keyword. When you take any programming language, plus or Java or .NET or Python, there will be some predefined words which are understood by the language directly. Those words only we call them as keywords. So you can define like a keyword is a reserved word or predefined word whose meaning is known to the language directly. Language will understand these words directly. And the examples like class is a keyword, if is a keyword, else is a keyword, for is a keyword, while is a keyword, int, float, char, then public, static, okay, void, like this. Okay, so once we enter into Java, again we'll discuss more on this terminologies once again properly. But before we enter into Java, we should have basic idea on these terminologies. The next one is variable. Whenever we want to hold some data, we require some memory space to hold the data. Like example, I want to hold, just a second. I want to hold the value like employee number. Employee number. So we require memory space to hold your employee number. I want to store something like employee name. So we require memory space to store employee name. I want to store something like address. So we will require some memory space to store the address. So the names what we are giving to this memory space to hold data, these names only we call them as variables. How to define a variable is like, a variable is an identifier which allocates some memory space, to hold the data. So the examples like employee number, student name, employee salary, customer address, student marks, like this. These are some of the examples of variables. The next important definition is data type. This is important for us, data type. Once we allocate memory space for variable, like example, if you are allocating memory space for age, what type of data we store in age? Something like 25. A numeric value without any decimal point, we call it as integer. A numeric value without any decimal point, we call it as integer. If you are allocating memory space for name, in name, we store a value, something like Ram. So here we are going with collection of alphabets, collection of characters, that we call it as string. String means collection of alphabets, collection of any characters. If you are allocating memory space for height, in height, generally store a value like something like 5.9, 6.2, 5.2. So a numeric value with a decimal point, we call it as float. So this type of data, what you are storing in the variable, this only we call data type. How to define is like, type of data the variable holds is called as data type. Type of data the variable holds is called as what? Data type. And the examples of data types are like integer, character, float, string, like this. The meaning of integer is like, examples of integer are like any numeric value without any decimal point. Positives are negatives. Examples of characters are like any one symbol enclosed in single quotes. Only one symbol enclosed in single quotes. It can be any symbol. So only one symbol should be there. Examples of floats are like any numeric value without any decimal point. Sorry, with the decimal point. A numeric value with a decimal point. When positives are negatives. Examples of string are collection of characters which are enclosed in double quotes. The collection of characters which are enclosed in double quotes, that we call it as string. Clear up to here, all of you? Any questions? The next important one is declaration of variable. Declaration of variable. Once we are in our memory space for variable to hold data, we need to declare it. So what is the need of declaration? In order to allocate memory space for variable, we need to declare the variable. And the syntax of declaring variable is, the meaning of syntax is rules of a language. The rules of a language we call syntax. Like we are having grammatical rules now. Similar way, in programming languages, we call them as syntax. The syntax of declaring a variable is, we have to mention the data type, space, variable list, like variable 1 comma, variable 2 comma, like that, variable n. In most of the programming languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, these 4 programming languages follows almost the same syntaxes. That is, every statement should end with a semicolon. So this is, once you declare the variables, we have to terminate that statement using semicolon. Like example, you can say int mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. So we are allocating memory space for 3 marks and they are all what an integer type. Then you can say float net salary. So you are allocating memory space for net salary. String employee name. String employee name. So you are allocating memory space for employee name. So if you declare the variable, we have to mention data type and variable name, then only it is going to allocate memory space for variable. If you are not allocating memory space for variable, and if you are using that variable, then it goes with error. So for example, if I'm storing something like student name equal to some name within double quotes. So did I declare this variable here above? No. So without declaring that variable, if I'm trying to use that variable, this will go with what? Error. To remove this error, what I need to do? I need to declare it. So how to declare? Like here, string student name. Now, if you are not declaring and if you are trying to use that variable, this is what error to us, right? Now, the next and very, very important one, this is the main topic of our course, that is method or function. In C, C++, we call them as function. In Java, .NET, we call it as method. How to define a method is like, a method is a sub-program, means a part of the program which is used to do a specific task. Method is what? It's a sub-program which is used to do a specific task. Like example, we want to find area of a rectangle. In order to find area of a rectangle, we are creating a method like this, area rect. Area rect. Then we have to go with the parenthesis. We have to go with the parenthesis here, like this. Open and close parenthesis. Then open and close curly braces. That means where the method begins and where the method ends. And in between this curly braces, we have to write the code to perform the task. What is our task? To find area of a rectangle. In order to find the area of a rectangle, what data do we require? Length and breadth, right? So what we require to perform area of a rectangle? Length and breadth. The formula is length into breadth will give area. So the data what we require to perform this task, that we need to pass in between this parenthesis. So like this, int length, comma, int breadth. So this length and breadth are called as arguments. Length and breadth are called as arguments, or even we call them as parameters. Even we call parameters. See, these are also like variables only. So to allocate memory space for these variables, we have to declare it. How to declare? By mentioning the data. Now, apply the formula. I'm taking one more variable, area equal to length into breadth. Since I'm using a variable area, what I should do, I should declare it. So to declare that, you can say int area. So if you are not declaring and if you are trying to use variable, it will go with what? Error. So we have declared the variable area and we are applied the formula area equal to length into breadth. Now, this, whatever the code we are writing inside the method, this we call it as defining the method. We are defining the method. Now we should call the method. Calling the method. Calling the method. So how to call it? Like this. Area, right? We can pass the values like 15, comma 10. We have to end with semicolon. So when you are defining, we go with this parenthesis, open and close curly braces. When you are calling, we have to take the method name, pass the values, and end with semicolon. When you end with semicolon, you are calling the method. Now what will happen? This 15 will go and store into length variable. 10 will go and store into breadth variable. Then what will be the value of area now? 10 in 15 into 10, 150. That result, that 150, I want to give back to this method. We want to give that result back to the method. How to give that result back to the method is using a keyword return. This word is important. Using a keyword return and the variable name area. So when you say return area, this 150 will come and store into this method. That I can store it into some other variable and print it. Print area. Print area. So what it's going to print for us? 150. Now understand carefully the important concept. Now this is the main thing what I require to enter into Java. So when you say return area, this area is what data type? Integer. So what type of data you are returning? Integer. So before the method name, we have to mention the data type what you are returning. So this mentioning data type what you are returning before method name, this concept we call it as return type. This concept we call it as what here? Return type. Return type. So what is the return type of this area rect method? We should say integer. What is return type? Integer. So this return type concept is important for me to enter into Java. So whatever I have discussed, everything we are going to see practically once we enter into Java. So in order to enter into Java, we should know these terminologies like comments, keywords, variables, data types, how to declare variable, what is the concept of method or function, and what is this return type. If you know this basic idea of these terms, entering into Java will be easy for us. And however, we discuss all these things once again once we go with Java basics with the practical examples. Right? Now, so what is the point? What is the return type of this method? The return type of area rect method is integer. Clear up to here, all of you? Any questions?
Raj,
Yeah.
already we have declared area as a we have declared area, right? Here
Right.
the as this is the like area will be the data type, not data type, like
Area rect is a method name. It's a method name.
method name, and int area is the
Data type of area variable.
variable. Yeah, area variable. So
Right.
again we are in in calling the method,
Hmm.
we are again declaring int area the
Hmm.
variable, right? So there are
Right.
two variables with the same
This
name,
is
right?
different. This is different variable. This is different variable. So this
Okay.
variable, whatever you are declaring,
Hmm.
that is accessible only within the method. Outside, I cannot access. This type of
Okay.
variables, we call it as local variables. Okay, we'll
Hmm.
discuss on this again. Okay, local
Okay.
variable.
Okay.
Okay, this memory I can use only within this method. Outside, I cannot access. So here I'm declaring once again, mainly the result, whatever I'm getting from this method, I want to store it into some variable and print it. That's the reason I'm taking area. So you can use
Hmm.
any name. This name can be anything XYZ. Okay, no
Yeah,
rules.
but both are similar names, right? So
Yeah,
is it okay that we can use
no
similar?
problem at all. No problem at all. No problem. We can use
Okay.
same names. Within
Because
the
hmm.
method, if I use same name, then it's an error. If I write one
Okay.
more time,
Hmm.
again, if I write one more time, int area, one more time, this is error.
Okay.
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 So within curly braces, if I declare a variable, that space is used only within the method. So this area variable, length and breadth, I can use only within this curly brace. Once I come out of that method,
Hmm.
what are the, if I use that names, it won't be valid.
Okay.
It won't access that memory. So
Okay.
again, if I use area, this is again separate memory for us.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll do a lot of examples. Don't worry today. So we'll do a lot of examples. So today is like just introduction part. Okay,
Okay.
Santosh.
Okay. Sure.
Right. Now, if I take the same method, if I take same method, instead of returning, I want to print area here only. I'm printing area here only. So in this example, are we returning any value outside of the method? Did we use return keyword? No. So if you are not returning any value outside of method, then we have to use a keyword void. So the meaning of void is, void means no return type. You are not returning any value outside of the method, then we have to use what keyword? Void. So this void keyword is important for me in order to understand Java introduction. On first day of Java only, I'm going to use this void keyword. So this is the main purpose of discussing today's class. Got it, everyone? Let me take one more example. I'm creating a method print message, which takes string message as argument. Then I'll print this print message. Now we'll call it print message. We'll say good morning. I'm saying good morning. So here I'm calling. So this good morning will go and store into this message argument, which I'm printing that. So the result, it will print good morning. So in this example, are we returning any value outside of method? No. So what keyword we have to use before method? Void. So if you are not returning anything, that method return type should be void. Void means no return. One more example to understand about return type. Now we are taking a method calculate total, which takes arguments float mark 1, float mark 2, float mark 3. Here we take a variable float total and we'll write total equal to mark 1 plus mark 2 plus mark 3. Then we return total. Now when you are calling, we'll say float total marks equal to calculate total. I'm calling the method calculate total and we'll pass marks like 50.0, 60.0 and 70.0. So what will happen? This 50.0 will go to mark 1, 60.0 will go to mark 2, 70.0 will go to mark 3. Then what is the value of total? 180, right? 180. So if I print here total marks, then what result we get? 180.0, right? Then now in this example, what is the return type of this method? What is the return type? It's very easy to answer. What is the return type of this method?
Float,
Very
right?
good. Float, right? What is the return type here? Float. So what is total you are returning? It's what type? Float. Just to take that float and keep it here. That's it. Simple. Okay. Clear all of you? How to write the code inside the methods? Don't worry now. Don't worry. We'll do a lot of examples.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make you understand about return type concept only. So we are not becoming programmers today only, just understanding the terminologies only. Just understanding terminologies. How to write the code, how to improve logic, lot of examples we are going to do. So initial days, I don't want to start with AI. So nowadays, many people, they are writing the code directly using AI. Don't do that. So when I give some assignments, try to do of your own. Don't use any Google or AI tools to get the solutions. If you do like that, then our logic will not get improved. That's the reason I want to start with AI tools only after completion of module 1. Module 1, every day I'm going to give assignments to you that you need to do without using any tools or Google. Try to do of your own. Until you get it, you try to do it. If not getting, you can ask me only. In the class, I'll discuss. Then when I'm discussing, I'll give some hints how to improve logic. Okay, so logical improvement is very, very important because in future we don't know what is going to happen. So we should have good skills on logic also. If you are good with the logics, then even if you are having AI tools are not there also, we can start working. Okay, logic is more important for us. Okay.
Okay, Raj, just a doubt. Like
Yeah.
for the first example and second example, in the first example we are returning the value, right?
Right.
And in the second we are not returning. So what's the difference it makes?
This is good programming. This is bad programming. Just as an example I've taken. So when I'm doing some calculations, here I'm doing some calculation, no? So when you do some calculations, always suggested to return.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are doing only print operation, I'm doing only print operation here. In that case, it's suggested to use void. So this is not good. This example, whatever I've taken, only to elaborate about void I've taken, but this is not good programming.
Okay.
This is
But
good
but
programming.
both
This is good
both
programming.
will okay. But both will performing the same one, right?
Same thing.
Same.
Both are doing the same thing. But what I
Same.
want to do, I'll take an example. Okay. So here you are having a circle. In that you are having a rectangle. I'm having a rectangle. Okay. Let me do that. So you are having a circle. You are having a rectangle. Now I want to find the area of this one, this space. This space, I want to find the area. So what is the solution for that? What I should do? First, I should find the area of circle, right? Area of circle I should find. Then I should find area of rectangle. Then once I subtract this area of circle minus area of rectangle, then I'll get the area of remaining space. Clear with this task? Clear with this? The formula what I'm discussing?
Yes, Raj.
Yes. So if I write the code like this, I'm printing area here only. But I want to take that area value and use it for my calculations. If I'm printing here only, can I take that area of rectangle and subtract from this area of circle? Is it possible now? If I write the code like this? No. I'm doing only print operation, but my objective is I want to find an area of this area. So what I should do? First, you create a method for area circle, return that area of circle. Create a method for area rectangle, return that value. Once I return that value, then I can create one more method where I'll subtract this area of circle from area of rectangle. If you are returning only, I can use that value outside and use it for some other purpose. But if I print here only, can I use this area outside of your method again? Not possible. That's the reason this is not good program.
Yeah, got it, Raj. Got
Right?
it. Yeah.
So very
Yeah,
important.
if you are using if you want to use it outside, then we need to use it
return.
using the return. Then only we can use it outside. Otherwise, we
Outside
can't use it. Only inside the method only we can be using it.
We can use it. Right. Very good. Very good. Right.
Okay, Raj. Thank you.
So don't worry. Today only all of you. So we'll do a lot of examples. Okay. So today my main objective is I want to make you understand about the terminologies like the meaning of program, what is the meaning of comments, keyword, variable, data type, how to declare a variable. This is important. Then the concept of method or function and the meaning of return type. Right. Then next class, we are going to start with Java, where I'll start with Java introduction and Java features. Now, so the people who did not send the test mail, please send the test mail suggested to go with Gmail ID to rajonlinejava@gmail.com. Please make a note once again. The people who did not send the test mail up to now, please send it once again. So not once again, please send it today. Then only I can take care of sending documents and recordings. Okay, this is only one-time process. The people who have already sent yesterday or today morning, no need to send again. Only one time. So, and next class will be on Monday, that is 29th June at 8 AM IST. Please use same GoToMeeting link to join. Okay, same GoToMeeting link. This is permanent link for us till we complete the course. Right? So, anyone having any questions before we close for today?
So for US, it's going to be on Sunday, right?
Right, Sunday evening. The people who are in US, for US or Canada, Sunday evening. Right? So whatever the time you have joined, the same time you need to join Sunday. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much and happy weekend. Thank you all.
Thank you, Raj.
Thanks, Raj.